Well, hey everyone, and welcome back to week 3 of Reading with Gracie. Well, it's officially April, and as some of you might know, that means it's Autism Awareness Month. So today, we're reading a book called Understanding Charlie, where our dear friend Charlie here has autism himself. And this book is very, very special to me because my own mom wrote it. It's a great book and it has wonderful stories, and I'm so excited to share each of its lessons with all of you. So let's dive right in. Understanding Charlie. Have you ever thought on one thing all day through? I do it all the time. It's my favorite thing to do. So while my mom brings groceries in and I am deep in thought, my sis keeps asking her about the things that she just bought. What's inside the grocery bags? Amelia wants to know. Did you buy fruit or ginger root or my favorite cookie dough? Or maybe gum? I'd sure like some to blow a big bubble. I'd be so busy doing that, I'm sure I'd stay out of trouble. Why, that's so sweet, Amelia. That's so nice to hear. But how about you choose to do something to help your mother? Later, I'll give you the gum, but for now, let's play with your brother. So off we go to the playroom, and I am really glad that before long, I'll belong on my green lily pad. You see, I like to think that I'm a frog with great big bulging eyes that see all kinds of bugs to eat, especially the flies. I know you might be wondering why pretending this is fun. It started on a cloudy day. There was no shining sun. It was early on that morning when my mother said to me, "It's raining cats and dogs outside. Why don't you go and see?" Now many times I do not hear what someone says to me because I'm deep inside my thoughts, but this I had to see. I ran right out into the rain, ready to catch those dogs, but none were falling from the sky. Instead, I saw the frogs. Those frogs were almost everywhere and having so much fun. I wanted to be their new friend, but I could not catch one. It was then that I decided I would learn all that I could about those slimy creatures until I understood all about these animals that were on my front lawn. I really hoped that I could learn before they were all gone. I was sad they didn't stay after the rain was done, but I still learned about those frogs, which was a lot of fun. My dad did teach me how they breathe and all about their eyes. They look forward, sideways, and even up, all while catching flies. They stick their tongues out really far to catch their food for meals. They never ever chew their food. I wonder how that feels. Instead of drinking water, frogs soak it through their skin. They're just so amazing. Where do I begin? So I think about them always. It's my favorite thing to do, but sometimes my big sister wants me to do something new. So now we're in the playroom, ready to have some fun, but we cannot agree to play before our play's begun. She doesn't want to play with frogs, but I don't really care. I'm busy watching them as they jump up high into the air. "I'm going to talk to Mommy," Amelia says to me, "and maybe she'll make you play so we don't disagree." Now, Mommy is still busy with putting things away, but she will always listen to what we have to say. "Mommy, I have a problem because it's my turn to choose exactly what we'll play today, but Charlie does refuse to let me be the one to pick the first thing that we'll do. He just sits there. It's not fair. I don't know what to do." Then Mommy tells Amelia, "I know it is your turn to be the one that gets first pick, but maybe you should learn that sometimes it's important to give that turn away. It will be fine, sweet girl of mine. Now go, have fun, and play." So when my older sister comes back, she says to me, "It is your turn, and then it's mine. Now we don't have to disagree. But I'm very busy with my big group of frogs. They're just so amazing. Much more so than some dogs. You see, I have an army here of many different types. There really is a purple frog, and some, they do have stripes. There's some frogs that do have fangs and jump from tree to tree. Of course they have become my friends. It's where I want to be. So I pretend that I don't hear. My thoughts are deep inside. I'm in my favorite place, you see. I now pretend to hide. If you won't pick, then I will, Amelia says to me. You didn't choose, so it's my turn, and you cannot disagree." My sister picks the worst thing. She sings so very loud, for now she's pretending to perform before a crowd. She holds the karaoke mic right up against her face, and that is when I wish that I'm in a different place. For her singing is too noisy and makes me real upset. I need to find another way to not sing a duet, because I know that feeling that's creeping up in me, and it's so hard to handle, it makes me want to flee. I'm getting very angry because that music is so loud. It makes me feel like overhead there is a big storm cloud. So I start rocking back and forth, and then I tap my fingers. Sometimes that helps to calm me down, but today the feeling lingers. So I go running out the door as fast as I can go, and Amelia runs right to our mom because she has to know the reasons that I do sometimes choose to act the way I do. She really doesn't understand and wishes somehow she knew. Mommy, I have a problem. I did just what you said. I tried to give him his turn first, but he sat there instead. Instead of choosing something fun that together we could play, he just did not say anything and played with frogs all day. That's all he ever wants to do. It's never something new. The frogs are all he thinks about, and I just wish I knew why when I was singing, he sat down on the floor and started rocking back and forth, which he did more and more, until he jumped up oh so fast and ran away from me. I really want to understand why Charlie cannot be the same as all my other friends when we begin to play, because no one does the same things that Charlie did today. Thank you, my sweet Amelia, for being so very kind. Charlie did not say anything. I believe that in his mind, he's thinking about those frogs he loves and how he'd like to be a frog man, playing with his friends, jumping from tree to tree. You have your favorite things to do, just like our Charlie boy. Your dress-up clothes, your TV shows, or maybe a new toy. You see, that's not so different. You have your favorites too. It's just that Charlie has but one, and you have quite a few. Okay, Mommy, now I know, but why does he rock to and fro? Why does he do that? I'd really like to know. Our Mommy is so very wise and knew just what to share, as my big sis Amelia climbed right into Mommy's chair. Sometimes when you feel nervous while trying something new, or when you do get frightened, what is it that you do? Amelia closed her eyes to think, and then she had to smile. I twirl my hair or hug Brown Bear, and I feel better in a while. It's the same when our sweet Charlie starts rocking to and fro. It helps him to feel better. And now, why don't you go to play with your sweet brother and with his favorite toys? But please do play so quietly without a lot of noise. Amelia learned a lot today from being with her brother. She also did learn quite a bit from listening to her mother. She learned while each of us is different in a special way, that being different from each other is all right and is okay. For we each have special interests, sometimes one or maybe more. Some of us might twirl our hair or rock while on the floor. For each of us has ways to cope and help us to feel good. And it's not fair that differences sometimes aren't understood, because we all are different, but one thing that is true, each one of us is wonderfully made, and so, my dear, are you. And that is the truth, isn't it? Each one of us is wonderfully made, just like sweet Charlie with autism, and just like everyone else that you know. So I hope you so enjoyed this book as much as I enjoyed reading it to you, and we'll see you back here next week. Happy April, everybody!